Greetings, everyone, and welcome to an all-new segment on the Genome Presents channel, and that's when we're going to review old classic horror movies. And what better way to start that with a Hammer classic, Horror of Dracula from 1958. So I am joined with an august yet spooky panel tonight, and we're going to go ahead and watch this live and give you a chance to watch it with us. So let me go ahead and start going clockwise, I guess. Jay from OverEasy Mode. Say hi, everybody.
What's up, everybody? I'm a regular here. You guys know me on this show.
Yes, indeed. Every Friday night, there's Jay. A couple newcomers to my channel, but also fellow YouTubers as well. We have Ben from Cadaver Club. Ben, how's it going down there?
Going well. Looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Reached out to both these guys here a little while ago, and they were very eager to get on. So, and finally, last but not least, we have Martin, Mr. Anthropomantic Fiend himself. Sometimes he goes by Anthro. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Glad to be here. I'm a huge fan of classic Hammer and just vampires in general. So this is right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah. This is as vampy as it gets. You know, you gotta love it. This one's got everything. Set dripping with detail. You got saccharine music going on. You have lots of light and shadow play. It's a classic, and then it's got Christopher Lee. So
and lots of garish red blood.
yes, in Technicolor. All right, so we got people coming in the chat real quick. We will start watching here shortly. I'm going to give people a chance to come on in, and then we will post a link for D Live, and so you can watch along with us. So, Samuel, hey, what's going on, Samuel? Good to see you. Good to see you. Usually he comes on when I'm playing Destiny. So
nice.
Jamina, Tierna, let's call your Tier. How's that? How's it going? Good to see you. Glad you can make it. I'm bad with names. Of course, there's Ben. The man in bad ways. How's it going, Jay and Genome, Cadaver, Anther? Well, says hi to everybody. So. Samuel's a regular in the chat. So if you guys want to post links or just tell them your YouTube name or whatever in the post, feel free at any time you want to, and make sure to go out and give these guys a subscribe. They got some great content out there. And you know what's funny is I'm the only non-musician on this panel. Every one of these guys here is an accomplished musician in their own right.
Oh. Well, thank you for saying that. I agree with probably the other two.
I have my guitar over there. I can get over there and start strumming or something, but maybe open G. I'll play open G and you play everything else.
Sounds good.
Okay, Marty McFly. Hey, I haven't seen you in a little while. What's going on? Let's just start by saying Twilight is not a vampire movie, right? So
yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree.
It would make a lot more sense if they were fairies, to be honest. Sparkling.
I know, sparkling
everything
fairy
would be crystal clear.
They had to go wrecking up a good lore monster. I don't get that. Yeah, make a new monster. Yeah, you're the glitter fairies or whatever. But Marty, it's good to see you. He was over. I think first met you over on Derek's Horror Corner channel. So, Monster Deacon, what's going on? You just lurk away. We're gonna have a link very shortly to the D Live, so you can watch the movie along with us. Oh, there you go. I guess Marty wants some subs. You got there and sub him up there. He actually has some pretty good top 10s and things like that. So we both did the Friday the 13th series not too long ago.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I know here's hard to pronounce. Well, probably not for most people, but you know me, my reading skills are not the greatest. You know, I like to read. So how about that? Maybe it's my enunciation skills that are bad. Since when have I glistened in the sun? Since 2011. That's when.
I mean, technically, if you read some of Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles, Lestat kind of sort of glitters. So, but not in the sun.
He was slightly bedazzled. Yeah, the whole sun thing. It was interesting. They turned the whole lore on his head there, didn't they? It's like, yeah, they're fine in the sun. They just make sparkles. Well, why didn't he glitter in school? Did he wear heavy makeup? I don't remember.
I don't know. That would be a fun aspect, just to watch the vampires putting on this just heavy makeup,
pancake makeup.
Yeah.
They did that in Blade, right? They put on a bunch of makeup and wore motorcycle helmets so they wouldn't get like destroyed when they were killing one of the main vampire dudes.
Yeah, I think that.
Udo Kier, I think.
It's better than the astronaut suits, I suppose. Okay, we'll give it about 2 or 3 more minutes, and we'll go ahead and get started. Just give everyone else a chance.
Well, you can post a link up and then get it ready.
Yes, yes. In fact, here is the link. Hopefully, keyboard's over here now. Excuse me. That doesn't seem right.
In fact,
okay.
In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set it up and see if I'm going to start streaming, and then
there's going to be the movie.
Okay, yeah.
Jackson Roy Clark, welcome as always to the stream. Always good to have such an august member, at least lurking in the panel, right? Good to see you.
Hey, what's up, Jackson?
Jackson, he's regular in every one of my streams, whatever I do, and videos.
Yeah. And then, all right, so I'm on D Live, but
okay. So that link should take you to Jay's D Live channel, and when he starts playing, you'll be able to watch along. So wait for him to push play, right?
It is going right now. It is going right now.
Oh dear. So. Okay. Well, I guess we should get into it. Ready, everyone?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want, I mean, we still have time. We could set up or whatever. I'm just starting streaming on D Live, but whenever you guys are ready, we can.
I think we can
start the movie. Yeah.
Let's do it.
You guys ready?
Count it down.
I'm starting right from the very beginning, credits and everything. So,
okay.
A restoration by the BFI National Archive with the generous support of Simon Hessel. Special thanks to YCM Laboratories and Warner Bros. Technical Operations. I'm not going to read everything, just a couple things here at the beginning.
I'm still going through like the all the warnings and stuff. Oh, here we go. Okay, I see where you're at. I think we're pretty good. The world's turning.
Peter Cushing with that top billing. Go.
I love how just aggressively gothic even just the opening titles are.
Yeah.
If there were synths back then, this would be totally in synth right now. But...
yeah, it would be like a pipe organ synth sound.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
The Satanic Rites of Dracula would have been Bossa Nova.
I see what people were saying about the new Castle Freak remake, and how they said that it sort of reminded them of the Hammer films because they use like the same color and font for their credits as well.
Hey, stick with the winner. This is before Gothic Sands was cool.
Right. Yep.
It's kind of an interesting opening credits. You think with a low budget movie they would have just done like a plain black background or something. They get the painting around of this Gothic mansion or castle.
Yep.
Great location
cool.
too.
Yeah, it's cool to compare this to the Bela Lugosi Dracula because everything about that is almost very static and quiet and ghostly, and this is so in your face and vibrant all the time.
Just in case you're forgetting who's in that crypt, it's nice and labeled for us.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like in what was it? Drink the Blood of Dracula. He had his name on his clasp.
Yeah.
Like Dracula.
Like, I wonder who this belongs to.
And here it is. Let you know this movie is serious. Blood spatter already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You've got to wonder what that blood is coming from, though.
I don't know. They probably killed a real chicken or something back then.
So, although I know Dracula was like killed and then resurrected with blood in the sequel, so maybe that's someone trying to resurrect him. I don't know.
Could be, because Clove is always trying, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or at least one of his acolytes.
Mm-hmm. So I've never seen any of the sequels, but how do they resurrect him? Well, spoiler alert, he becomes blown away dust at the end of this.
It means little.
Yeah. I think it's Dracula is risen from the grave. They they spill someone's blood on the ashes and it brings him back.
And it brings him back. I remember that.
Blood of Dracula, this like devil worshiper drinks Dracula's blood and turns into him. And one of my friends, Marty from the Trash Picture Show, brought up what would have happened if they had all drunk it. Would we have multiple Draculas walking around? What would have happened?
It's unclear. But interesting notion. He gets reconstituted like those McDonald's onions, you know. They come in as dust.
Yeah. It's like the Taco Bell refried beans.
Basically. Marty McFly, glad you could stop by even for a short time. Thanks for coming in. Movie is playing live on D Live right now. Follow the link. If you need me to repost it, just let me know.
Testing.
They just threw a random cannon in here. It's like they had some prop laying around.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love that sort of the freestanding arches in this set.
Yeah.
It's really interesting architecturally.
It's like a nightmare to dust, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to get a camel hair. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting that Jonathan is not like a real estate agent in this. He's Dracula's librarian in this.
Yeah, that was a weird choice, right?
They play very fast and loose with it, don't they?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, in this version, like, Dracula takes a carriage ride from London to Transylvania. They're like right next to each other. They're like one location now.
I love how Transylvania, like the innkeepers and the residents in Transylvania, all speak with English accents.
Yeah,
including the Count.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, the Count's English is supposed to be really good, but not everybody else's. I don't know.
Man, look at that room. That's awesome. I love that. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
So if I could just say, sorry, if I could just say, if anybody could hear me or is watching on D Live, I've got like multiple things. I don't know if I'm like, double talking or whatnot. So if you can just let me know. All right, that's cool. So, yeah, sorry.
Chafing dish. Excellent penmanship from the Dracula.
Very nice penmanship.
Yeah.
And what do you think those are?
Look like beef heart or something,
Like beef heart, possibly some figs.
Yeah. I've got to wonder how Dracula has so much just good food in his pantry when he knows the only person who's going to be eating any of it is his librarian.
Yeah. He must have cooked this meal himself, right?
Yep, because he doesn't have any servants. I love how in certain other versions he's the carriage driver too, and he just tries to hide his face so nobody notices, and then drives away really fast and comes out through the door again.
Nice fancy spread. Notice like all the candles in every shot in this castle seems pretty impressive.
So many candles, I love it.
I know.
I mean, there's not electricity yet, right? What do you know? What year do you think this is set in?
I want to say it's like right at the turn of the century, right? This is
1800s, maybe.
This would be Victorian England.
Yeah,
this would be the Victorian era, technically.
Okay.
And now for the first of the
Dracula was
famous heaving bosoms of the of the Hammer flicks.
Yep.
Dun, dun, dun.
That count looks more like ancient Greece or something. I don't know.
I see it.
It's Minerva.
But architecturally, I love this room, man. You have like this giant stairway with no handrail, and then like a random obelisk type of situation going on at the foot of it.
How'd you ever pull a permit for that place? I have no idea. Yeah. This is I'll say this about Hammer. They have like the politest people. Like every person is so bloody polite. It's sickening.
I mean, that's how they were back in the olden days. Like the biggest insult was, "I said good day, sir." You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the whole kind of thing with the original Dracula story is there's just all of these repressed emotions that come out when you're a vampire that you can't properly express in Victorian society.
Yeah.
I love how he walks down the stairs like he's just floating down.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he did that all in one take, like the first time.
Wouldn't surprise me. I also love how fast he talks. He's just right to business.
I was surprised when I watched this. I didn't exactly know what the story was going to be exactly. And I thought there was going to be a lot more sort of cat and mouse between the two. But they sort of just got right down to it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little more disappointed in that because I like to see Christopher Lee talk, but it is what it is.
He doesn't have that many lines in this, actually.
He's barely got any lines in any of the Dracula movies. He gets a little bit more in the later ones, a little bit, but barely.
It doesn't even sound like him. Like it's not Saruman. You know what I mean? It's not that deep husky voice.
Oh yeah, this is a younger Lee, so it's not quite as husky yet.
Yeah,
He
pre-husk.
was probably my age when he shot this movie. That's what's bad.
I was thinking this too when I watched it. Like, who the fuck do you think he really like went around and lit all of those candles? Like that is so many matches.
He's very attentive.
I desperately want to see just like shots of Dracula before Jonathan arrives, just hurriedly, just running around trying to prepare everything.
I want to see like a early '80s montage of him like getting everything ready.
Mm-hmm.
You can see their breath in this room, by the way. That's how cold it is in there. But
wow. Despite the roaring fire.
In I think it was Satanic Rite of Dracula, though, he lights candles just like clapping or whatever. So maybe he did like that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe spooky vampire magic.
So it's the Castlevania rules. Like his castle is his domain, and
whoever lights all those candles.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the rules the Coppola movie plays by too, because just everything's weird. Logic does not apply in the castle in that version.
Yeah, that's why they have the anti-gravity scenes and all that in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Logic's for suckers.
Looks like the Phantasm Ball.
A little bit.
No knocking or anything.
I've always wondered, and I don't ruin this for anyone who's watching in D Live, but did Dracula see something here to make him realize that Harker is not who he says he is, and that's why he just gets right into it here?
No, because he hasn't gotten into it yet. He's just like admiring his lady, right?
Yeah,
but he's fixing to lock him in like a second,
he
30
does
seconds.
lock him in. That is true.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I love how not subtle the wife thing is in like Nosferatu, where he just says, "Your wife has a lovely neck."
It's just typical response, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I say it all the time. I have good in life insurance, so.
It is weird that he would bring him the key to the library and then lock his door, right?
Yeah, I don't know if maybe there was something was different there. I don't know what was going on. Either we're missing something, or maybe they had to cut the scene down or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
They were running out of candle budget.
I do think it's interesting that Jonathan's onto him from the start in this version, because that's never the case in any other version of Dracula.
Well, I got the feeling that he was like undercover librarian, right? He went there specifically to like rid the earth of Dracula.
Yeah, he did. But in other versions, he's just the totally unwitting real estate agent who's just like, I'm going to sell this foreign nobleman some real estate in London.
Yeah.
I don't think Dracula even buys a house in this version. He just zooms off to London and starts killing people.
He wastes no time with real estate deals. He knows the market.
Exactly. He actually moves into their house, right?
Yeah, technically, unwittingly. There's a moment later where they discover that he's down there, and the timing of it is just comic brilliance, probably unintentionally.
That is some dramatic music.
Yeah, I love the billowing of his cape behind him in that shot.
I wonder if they put something in his cape to make sure it did that. They probably put some like some
wires
or bars or something on there, welding rods.
I know some like bands will like have a fan in front of them on stage to blow their hair, just for dramatic emphasis, just in front of their mic.
Should I set up the fan, guys? Did I mess up?
Hey, Gray Man.
Hey, Gray Man. What's up?
What's going on? You'll like this, Gray Man. This movie's full of politeness and good English accents. Gray Man's coming to us live from London.
I love nothing more than a polite movie.
Oh, they're polite. In fact, there's not a Hammer movie that's not polite. Exceedingly so. I love when in Satanic Rites of Dracula, when they're discussing the end of the world's going to be like any minute now, and they're all around drinking tea. It's beautiful, man.
I mean,
look at that.
Even like Dracula AD 1972 is relatively polite, and that's the one that's set in 1972 with like all of the hippies.
Yep, in New York or something like that.
So this guy like came in his jacket, his travel jacket. Then he switched into like his welcoming jacket, and now he's in his evening
jacket.
Every occasion.
Man, those guys had some fashion things they had to do, huh?
Look at that chair.
If you look up the like etiquette for like Victorian mourning and the different kinds of just black mourning attire that you had to wear through the different stages of mourning a person, it's dramatic. There's just like certain like combinations of black with other colors that you have to wear on certain days, and
so complicated. It's like the color wheel. All right, let's see. Okay, you're gonna. Sorry, I'm ignoring the chat here. I'm going to set up a fan for my next comic call so it blows your hair and your beard majestically back.
Yes, do it.
Charlie Weiss, good to see you. You never watched a Horror Dracula? Well, if you go to the D Live link, which is above, and I can repost it again if you need to, you can watch it there with us. Just make sure you stay here too. Ben's on a motorbike. It's hard to do the live watch on the motorbike.
Yeah, I was going to, but I decided it'd be dangerous to bring my TV on the bike.
Please don't distress yourself. That's often what I say when some strange woman throws herself onto my chest. I love this setup right here, though. When she just gets a glimpse of his neck.
It's like
eyes.
Right to business here, you know?
Yep. And I think, like, outside of Nosferatu, this was the first Dracula movie to show any kind of fangs. There's no fangs in the Lugosi version.
And then he comes in, he's just like, woman.
Yeah, Christopher Fleet, he flung her good. I think she hit the step.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, in the other versions, he's got like the 3 brides, and he has to fling all 3 of them across the room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, in the Bram Stoker's Dracula, it was easy. He just went, and they all went to the roof. You know.
Yeah.
Francis knew how to do it easy.
I love how they like glob together into one thing and walk backwards creepily out of the room, and that it's bizarre.
Oh, his hair's disheveled. Now you know he's pissed.
Yep. And I think we don't get any dialogue from Lee from this point on. He's just all snarling.
In fact, it's several movies, I think.
Yeah.
Basically. Which is a shame. Such a shame.
I mean, in Dracula is Risen from the Grave, he says, "Get that thing out of my sight," when there's a cross on the front of the door, which is the horror miser Monty G's favorite line in any Hammer movie. He loves
What's the classic one? Yeah, because he can't look at it, and he has his acolyte, who he didn't bite for some reason, do it for him. And that was the cause of his own demise.
Yeah, I just love that people are like pushing crosses in front of his face throughout the movie, but that one on the door just pisses him off enough to actually say something.
It pissed him off so much he went to England to butcher everybody. I love the cardinal in that movie. Was it cardinal or was he bishop? No, he's a bishop, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh man, that candle burned all the way out.
All the way down. Lets you know about the passage of time, isn't it? So those subtle things.
Yeah.
What do you think that stuff in the bottles is? Absinthe?
That's exactly what I was just wondering, yeah.
I actually have a bottle of absinthe over here. I've never actually drank out of it, though. I don't drink anymore, but let's see if I still have it.
Yeah. I mean, Dracula drinks absinthe in the Coppola movie. There's a whole absinthe scene in that movie. It's very dramatic.
Looks like it's maybe Mountain Dew, Fago, and then Dr. Pibb, right?
Yeah.
Or Mr. Pibb.
That's definitely Dracula's drinks of choice.
I mean, Mr. Pibb got a doctorate, but he still prefers to be called Mr. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I never actually opened it, but
oils for sure.
Oh shit, he was going for it too.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, someone a friend of mine went to Germany and got this for me. I think it was Germany.
Oh wow.
But
yeah.
I never wanted to drink it. I feel like a Nine Inch Nails video or something. Now he realizes he's doomed.
Do you think he has like a cursed jacket to switch into?
What's that?
Do you think he has like a cursed jacket he has to wear in such occasion?
Yeah. He had to bring his I'm turning into a vampire jacket just in case.
Who put the incense? Yeah, that's a good question. Sorry, I need to look back there. Yes, it did escalate very quickly, didn't it, Charlie? She looked, the second she saw his jugular, she's like, oh, turn the switch. I don't want help anymore. I just want to drain you. Maybe that's what she meant all along.
Yeah, that was the help that she wanted. Just a little boost.
Because maybe Dracula's not giving her any blood. Keeps her in thrall.
Probably not.
They make him very beastly in this series. They totally did a departure from like the Bela Lugosi Dracula and the suave, nice guy Dracula, you know? Now he's very animalistic in these movies.
It's very animalistic, but he has he's still very seductive in some ways too.
Especially in the later ones too. Like the women are like, whenever they look at him because of his hypnotism and all that.
Yeah, but
I think he did that better. Yeah, I think he did that better than Bela Lugosi. The hypnotism look.
I don't know. Lugosi's got the hand thing going on.
Wow.
Better pantomime.
Yeah.
So the gray man says nice cabinet, but if you look at it, it looks like there's just a plastic laminated picture of drawers on it, you know?
I see that.
It's not like
cardboard.
As like a furniture maker, I noticed that stuff. Because I was looking at it going like, that's just a picture of drawers.
There's not a lap joint or rabbit there to be found. Look at that.
Yeah, well, they ran out of money right there specifically.
She's one little pick me up. Well, yes, she did. She picked her up all right. And you're right. He did carry her like a boss, man. Freaking Christopher Lee just picked her up and right out the door with her, like they're getting married.
Love the beautiful matte painting in the background. Definitely a real mountain.
Yeah. Your stepmom had a thing for Christopher Lee, Gray Man.
What stepmother wouldn't? Heck, I do, and I'm straight.
He's Christopher Lee. He's the ideal human being.
Imagine if he was your grandfather and you walk into the house and he starts talking to you in the Saruman voice or something. You're just going to sit down and listen.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he, in his like very, very old age, in his later years, he recorded a symphonic metal album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gray Man's got him. He's got the albums.
Yeah. And he recorded a metal Christmas album too. If you look it up, it's something else.
He was actually one that my pick for one of the top 3 people I'd like to spend a day with because I think he's a very interesting person.
Definitely.
Not just in movies.
Same here.
He's a literary kind of guy. He was a soldier, musician, opera singer, vocalist, and I think he was in some movies too, as I recall. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was doing movies since the silent era, I think.
Now, what is it about a vampire that like they're like just opposed to napkins or some shit? Like,
just leave it, like leaking out, like it's not that precious.
Like,
yeah,
clean yourself up, man.
I read like a post somewhere that was just like, I know vampires think it's just so seductive to have blood running down their chin. It's just like, that is your food. Do you think that is supposed to be sexy? Wipe your mouth.
All right.
The smoldering intensity. Is that what got to your stepmother? The smoldering intensity?
See now, if you were going to actually kill them, would you go for the weaker female over like Christopher Lee?
He didn't even know she was there. His whole master plan was to go in as an undercover librarian and kill that dude, and he starts with her.
He's too intimidated to go for Christopher Lee.
Is that what it was?
Just now he is bitten. Maybe he can't.
For the weaker target.
You know what I mean? Maybe he's partially thralled too, because he's been bitten.
He's starting to turn. Yeah.
It's hard to say, but it is an interesting choice. His strategy needs work.
I guess it would have been a much shorter film.
It's very.
That's very true.
And he's surprised all of a sudden. Yeah, I don't know.
I know, right?
Don't drop your spikes.
And why did he leave just to come back and make his main entrance?
To make a dramatic entrance.
You'll never see this coming.
He's like, oh shit, I got to go grab my napkin so I can wipe that blood off my chin before I destroy him.
Unlike some other vampires, I'm dignified and wipe my chin, except when I want to be intimidating.
I'm not some sloppy Sally over here.
Yeah.
I love the innkeeper and the inn scenes here.
Oh yeah.
Like just dripping. I would love to go in that place and order a coffee or something, you know.
And I mean, every Gothic horror film that sends you to some remote area. I mean, going all the way into something like American Werewolf in London, you've got the scene where somebody walks into some kind of
the slaughtered
restaurant
lamb
or inn or pub and says the wrong thing, and just the whole room goes dead silent.
Well,
maybe he staked her first because she bit him. That's a possibility. Maybe he was taking mercy on her. But yeah, his order of operations was pretty off, I must say.
Yep.
this
I
sort
of like the idea that killing the one who bites you doesn't undo the transformation. You're just not enthralled anymore, because then you have a reason for sequels, like in Dracula's Daughter. She burns her father's body and she's like, now I'm free. But then she realizes she still has blood cravings. So that's the whole plot of that movie.
Because he still becomes a vampire.
Yeah.
And Gray Man, I don't know if you saw it, but there's a link to D Live up there. I can repost it again. You can watch the movie with us, by the way, if you don't have it. I actually have a coat with a collar like that, and I have a base scarf I got in the other room. I was going to do that, but it's once again just too hot under these lights and sit there like that the whole time. But I got the bowler to be him.
As gorgeous as these costumes are, I gotta wonder how uncomfortable they had to be for them sometimes.
I'm only on 2 LED lights. Those are back halogen or maybe arc sodium back then. Who knows how hot that was?
I think I hear echo from one of you guys, unless that's me. No, or
I'm not hearing an echo over here.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so
Is
it's
it
probably
me?
on my end. It's probably on my end or something.
Not here. They're not the decoration, are they? I don't know what you're talking about. I think it's...
Yeah, because just garlic strands everywhere. That's perfectly reasonable decor.
Bet it smells nice, though. Dude's got an epic comb over, too, by the way.
Yeah. It's a comb forward and then over. It's like the proto Donald Trump.
Oh, it's the swirl.
Oh, no.
He's got the swirl.
Is that what that's called? The swirl?
It's called
Like you
that
stick your head in the
girl.
toilet and flushed. That's the
Throw
swirl.
the mullet and then you bring the party up to the front. I didn't even notice that he was bald until you guys said something. I thought he had a full head of hair.
Oh, you're hearing the movie twice, too? It may be from you, Ben. Are you got your speakers on?
No, mine's muted.
I don't get it.
Quentin in the house. What's up, Quentin?
Hey, Quentin.
Quentin, welcome. Good to see you.
Quentin, there's a link that you can watch with us. I'll tell you right now, I'm at 26 minutes and 52 seconds.
There's the link. It should take you right to where we're at.
Yeah, it's playing right now, so yeah, you can just plug on in.
So basically, we're an exceedingly polite Van Helsing in doing some research, looking for horror.
Quentin just reviewed this on Monday. Part of his
really?
Monday series, yeah.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. I'm always interested in other people's opinions on these movies.
It's so classic. I tell you what, they put the carriage market back in business for a little while with these movies too, because there's so many carriages in these movies.
Yeah, carriage ride all the way from London to Transylvania and back.
It's an
That
overnighter.
carriage almost tried to smash him. Oh, there he goes. Yep.
Now he's mad. That was exceedingly rude.
Yeah,
Nothing
he's
will
not
piss
even
off
trying to
Peter
hide.
more.
He's not even trying to hide what he's doing. He's just like, here I come with my big lush coffin.
Exactly. It's like, get the open bed carriage and put my giant white coffin in it.
Cushing is absolutely amazing, Gray Man. I tell you what, and he brings a lot of dignity to this role and to all the roles that he's in these movies. Probably much more than they paid for.
And this version of Van Helsing could have been so just cold and methodical, but he feels very, very likable.
Haven't seen a more likable Van Helsing since Hugh Grant Hugh
Jackman. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a movie.
Yeah, they made that with the Bela Lugosi Dracula in that one.
That was. There's some weird lore in that movie.
I buy that.
But Q, we'll check that out. If I remember, I'll check that out this evening, depending what time it is. I'll go see your review on that. I'll be doing these. I might save it for next Halloween, though. I meant to do them this year, and I got sidetracked.
Quentin, he's Canadian, so he has a duty to watch hockey.
Kind of watch.
He left the corner.
Priority. That reminds me of a bad Rodney Dangerfield joke. I won't even say it, but it had to do with Canadians and hockey, by the way.
Oh.
It wasn't bad. It was actually aimed at Canadians. I'll tell it to Mr. Miracle.
Yeah. Have you seen the Hammer film Twins of Evil before? Mm-hmm. Comparing Cushing in this to Cushing in that movie, where he plays this fanatical witch-burning Puritan who's just pure evil, basically, is very interesting.
Oh.
They're very different roles. And his Dr. Frankenstein, who's just so heartless. Comparing that role to Van Helsing.
He's sleeping. There's a little reference back there to old Dracula with his hands crossed in the coffin.
Yeah, that shot in particular reminds me of something like Nosferatu.
Look, there's even like dust and leaves on those steps right there. A lot of good attention to detail on shots like that. Oh, Quentin, if you don't like poor jokes, here, don't listen for a second. This was, I can't remember what Rodney Dangerfield movie was in, like Meet Wally Sparks or something, but he says, why do Canadians like to do it doggy style? So both of them can watch the hockey game. Yeah. I was trying to find a knit tie today and a tie bobble. I don't know what the hell you call those things, but I couldn't find one anywhere. I even looked on Amazon. I was going to pay top dollar, but...
Yeah, Gray Man, the stakes are high. Indeed.
Now, the brother here is so angry, yet so very, very polite.
I find it extremely suspicious.
He's just so appalled by everything.
And he's wearing his welcoming jacket. Has that same sort of piping around the lapel and stuff.
He's wearing his welcoming jacket, but he's not welcoming Peter Cushing. What's up?
I don't know. I wonder how many people took it to get her into that friggin' dress. The bodice alone looks like it's cutting off circulation to the brain.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing about this. Why do they switch Mina and Lucy's names in like every version of Dracula ever? Why is that a thing? It bothers me so much.
Maybe they're screwing with the audience. I like the pull cord he has for the servant.
They're subverting your expectations.
Could be. I mean, because they did turn it on.
They do it in every version. It's just like when Werner Herzog, when he remade Nosferatu and they actually had the rights to the names, he switched Mina and Lucy's names again for no reason. It's just like, okay.
I don't know if it's a tie pin, Gray Man. I've seen these things. What they do is it's something that goes around the knot of the tie at the bottom, but there's like this giant bobble on Peter's tie in this one. I can't find anything like it anywhere. Not even a
hybrid polo tie without the polo, just has the thing.
Yeah, man. It's kooky. She's got a mega one herself there with that flower. It's not even a brooch. I don't know what the heck it is.
Yeah, she's not messing around.
Afternoon rest.
She must know sometime.
And now we have Judy Garland in bed.
Yep.
Oh God, you're right.
I got a good vibe with that right there. Oh, Lucy and Mina.
But that's supposed to be Mina. And the whole dynamic with Arthur was originally supposed to be the fiance of the Lucy character, and now they're like different age groups. It's weird.
Okay, check this out. Now he switched into his evening jacket, his smoking jacket, and she changed into her evening dress. And it's like the same thing pattern.
Well-blown corset underneath, but they're not really hosting anybody.
Exactly.
Gray Man, where's the echo at? Which is it on the D Live or is it on the YouTube?
Let me, you know what? I'm gonna meet.
Yeah, Alfred Go. I always think of him as Alfred or Michael Go, and then
I keep forgetting that he's in this, but yeah, I will always think of him as Alfred. He and Christopher Lee both also appear in Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, which is very much a Hammer movie, if you think about it.
I've never actually seen Sleepy Hollow.
It's great. It's kind of it's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, but it's done as sort of a murder mystery with Ichabod being this constable who's investigating these beheadings and
the Tim Burton Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, if it were made in the 70s by Hammer, Peter Cushing would be playing Johnny Depp's role in that movie.
No.
He was always portrayed as kind of a skinny guy anyway, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
That one has very nice Halloween ambiance. That's like a good fall movie to watch.
That is my go-to movie to watch on the 31st. This past October, me and my family, who had never seen the movie before, watched it with me, and we had like these really nice pumpkin rolls that we made. That was our Halloween morning. It was nice.
All right, so I have my D-Live muted. So, and I'm still hearing it. So it's got to be coming from the stream.
It might be me. I don't know.
How are you watching? Do you have it earphones or are you having it on speakers?
I have it on speakers. I've got it on my DVD player. There's no way for me to hook up. It's probably me.
Okay. No. All right. That's fine. That's fine. It's I'm just wondering where it's coming from.
Quentin's out. Have a good night, Quentin, if you're still watching this. When I said that.
Yeah. And I love that he's got the gramophone in this, and then somebody's about to come in and be like, "Who are you talking to?" And he's like, "I'm talking to myself." And
of course,
he's just like so weirded out, like he's never heard of a gramophone before.
And this is interesting because that's like the it's like the wax cylinder.
Yeah, yeah.
So this would have to be the late 1800s then, I guess. Like really late.
Yeah, I think it's maybe turn the century, yeah.
Yep. The thing I think is really cool about the original Dracula book is, as sort of romanticized and gothic and mysterious as it is now, it was very modern at the time. They were using as much modern technology as they could, and it was told through like diaries. It was like a police procedural almost.
And here we don't know if those are like electric lights or if they're gas lights or what, but they're not candles.
Yeah.
They don't use candles in London anymore. So gauche. I like how they actually embossed the diary there with Jonathan's initials. Is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Lots of bookmarks.
I mean, yeah. He's got to keep track of all the different important points in there.
I guess that was before they invented highlighter pens. So
yeah. Or he's just too proper to mark up Jonathan's diary after he passes.
I don't write in books either, though. He's got looks like he's got a Dalek behind him, though.
Yeah.
Never figure out that thing is.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I mean, Peter Cushing played the Doctor in these Doctor Who movies that I think a subset of Hammer produced at the time.
He took work where we could get it.
Yeah.
Which Doctor was he? He wasn't any of the original 12, or
he wasn't. He played a movie version of, I think it was sort of based on some of the first Doctor's timeline, but they call him Doctor Who in the movie, which is so weird.
Oh, okay.
See, look at that tie jewel. It was beautiful. All right. There we
but
go.
The Doctor never had a name, actually, in the proper series.
Yeah, he was always just the Doctor, and it would be like Doctor Who, and he's like, just the Doctor. But they call him Doctor Who in the movie, and it's I didn't like that part.
Here, the gaslight tech was dangerous. I don't doubt it, man. You had lead-based paint back then, too, so it's amazing anyone lived past 30.
Oh, lead and everything.
Revolution.
Yeah, he did two Doctor Who movies. One was like Doctor Who and the Daleks, and one had another kind of more elaborate name.
I like how she was like afraid there and completely like wanting him, all in the same like scene there. You see her like pushing herself back into the bed. She's not totally in its way completely, but
cool transition too, where he lifts the cape over the camera,
and then right into blackness.
Can be a slow process cross.
There's not a wall. There's not a square inch of anything in any of these houses that has something on it.
That isn't covered. I know, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what's wrong with her?
That's a
Tanya,
big
who the hell?
ass back
Yeah.
for her.
And why don't you make up
Who the hell is Tanya?
How many times have I told you not to go bother with this homework? I'm sorry. That's all I do.
Yeah, you know they had to like clear out thrift stores from like 3 boroughs over.
Yeah.
Her dress looks like it's made of tablecloth.
They didn't waste anything. It was an original castle set. Remember, it was actually on the table.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Is that the morning dress? Is that what we're dealing with now?
And it's the morning and receiving. Yes.
Mhm. I think it's just so weird that I don't even remember if her name is Mina or Lucy anymore. I'm confused.
Look where the chain on that door is. Below the door handles. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember what her name is either.
I think it's Mina, but it would have been Lucy in the. It's weird. But she and Homewood have been like married, and they're like a happily married couple for so long. And then like every other version, there's all of these. They're still getting married. Everyone's like the same age.
Mhm.
This one just eschews everything. I love her hand warmer too. It's like a Russian hand warmer.
Yeah.
And she's got the hat looks like it's from Hee Haw though. On these knee bag hanging off of it.
Yeah, that's called a muff, right?
Yeah, I can't remember. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the
I'm
hand
from
warmer
Florida.
shop.
I don't know.
Lots of pictures of other buildings on that wall.
Mm.
Yeah, that's just like a straight up ring on his neck. On his thigh.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find it. I was even looking for like just regular costume jewelry that I could make it work. I just couldn't find it.
Charlie, right? It's yeah, the blonde one is Mina, but is married to Arthur, who and Lucy and Arthur were engaged in the book, and Lucy is Mina in the book and was supposed to marry Hartford, who didn't die. What is this?
The mind quails. Absolutely quails. You're learning with us.
It's so weird hearing him just referred to as Helsing and not Van Helsing.
It's a good British name, right? Helsing. Let me know about that.
Helsing, yeah.
Great man.
Exactly, Charlie. I love the novel, and just having the name change makes it just hard to talk about the story. I'm just like, which character am I talking about? I don't know.
I don't think we're supposed to care that much.
Yeah, like Mina and Jonathan were engaged, and Lucy and Arthur were engaged, and now Lucy and Arthur are married, and Jonathan's dead.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh yeah, and Van Helsing is Dutch in the book too, and he doesn't speak very good English at all.
Well, neither is Peter Cushing here, obviously. I can barely understand him.
Yeah.
So cockney.
The original Dracula novel was like sort of the literature equivalency of Anthropomantic. I thought it was like an interesting approach.
Yeah, I think they call that an epistolary novel, and the original Frankenstein was the same way.
But it wasn't. The original Frankenstein wasn't told only through journals. It was like a recounting of the story.
It's weird because it's like a story within a story within a story with Frankenstein, because it is told through the journals of Captain Robert Walton, who's the sea captain, who meets Victor, who starts dictating him his story in the Arctic, and then within that we hear the monster dictate Victor his story, and Victor's dictating that story to Robert Walton.
Right.
It's just these weird layers.
The creature.
That.
What an enigma.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein's a great book.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah.
My favorite part's when she's trying to figure out what brings things back to life by watching dead corpses all day in charnel houses. And then one day I was watching, and then I found it. That's all you ever heard for the explanation of how she made Frankenstein.
Never actually tells you. Yep. I mean,
yeah.
Yep. I think it's interesting that she never explicitly says that she stitched him up out of dead body parts either. I mean, in the Thomas Edison Frankenstein movie, he just throws a bunch of stuff in a pot and a monster comes out. There's no stitching up of corpses.
Interesting.
It's more saccharine that way.
Okay.
Yeah. Goodbye, garlic.
Yeah. Is she getting affected by the sunlight?
That's how I feel about cinnamon. When they put those cinnamon brooms everywhere, it's the same thing. I hate those things. Remove the garlic. We know she's not Sicilian. What's she doing with her hair right there? It's kind of strange. It's like a Lhasa Apso with a huge mullet in the back.
That's like just before she was going to do the comb over.
The comb above or comb forward. Because they even tied the windows shut with garlic. They weren't messing around.
Yeah. Peter Cushing's ruthless in this.
Stiff upper lip and all that. There it is, that look of fear and then longing at the same time.
Yeah, they do that well.
I mean, is it crazy that Christopher Lee just like jumped in his like coffin and moved into their place?
I mean, he's a vampire. He does whatever he wants.
Yeah, the story had to progress somehow, I guess.
I guess that's true.
I mean, they're proper English folk, right? They don't go into their basements. That's where the servants go. Now she's in her morning gown.
Yep. Although there's a scene in this where they're like about to get some wine and almost go down there, but don't. And then they go down there later.
Just to get the audience's tension up. I like his riding coat there. It's pretty sweet. Looks like Paul Revere.
Yep.
So now she appears as a corpse, but Harker earlier just like went straight to Dracula mode, right?
Yep.
Well, there's a presumed passage of time. It's been a while. He's had enough time to turn, I guess. I don't know.
I'll buy that.
But I think it's clever how they do this, having him peer under the cover and then just cover her head, and they don't have to do any kind of makeup to show that she's dying. They just imply it with that.
He's enraged right now.
I don't know where it's set, Gray Man. I don't know. It's like some weird mesh of Whitby and Transylvania together, because he can get from one to the other by carriage ride. It's just this one little weird Gothic village in somewhere.
Let's say it's in Lower Uncton.
Yeah.
I got 5 viewers on DLive. How many people are? How many people from this stream is watching? I'm just curious.
Looks like 8 people watching this stream on YouTube.
Yeah. Yep.
One of them is me.
Yeah, I'm probably the other one. So.
Yeah.
I like them on.
One of us actually has just like 8 accounts open and is all of them.
This way gets you through the hard times. A little bit of needlepoint. Fixes you right up.
Yeah, nothing like it clears the blues away more than needlepoint.
Yeah.
Burlesque friggin' lamp that's behind him too.
Yeah.
Yep.
See that thing.
I mean, in Nosferatu, Mina is doing needlepoint right before she's about to die too, just to calm herself down. I don't know.
When is the Gray Man?
Very distressed. Now she got like a sheer dress on. I don't know.
Yeah, she's just bawling her eyes out, and he's like, she was very, very distressed indeed.
That's the dress. That's the dress of sadness. Yes.
She's like, oh, we're in the burlesque room. I got to wear my burlesque dress, right?
That's true.
Yeah,
it goes well with that lamp.
Yeah, I think that's why they have the Whitby Gothic thing there every year. I'd love to go someday. It looks great.
Great man, you're in Scotland, right?
Jolly old England.
Why did I think he was in Scotland?
Well, if you like comics, there's a couple of Scottish ones out there. Scottish YouTubers. It's the same country anyway, really.
Same nation, different country.
Yeah, basically.
She's been training her shoulders.
She never skipped shoulder day.
Nope.
She's like Kevin Levrone. All right.
Mm-hmm. And here we have your quintessential Hammer Fog.
Someone like owned like stock and smoke machines back then, or dry ice, one or the other. Fresh flowers over there. See, normally coffins are kept wide open in England. It's a little known fact.
It's how they do. That's how they roll.
It's how they roll.
Yeah. And in this, they make such a big deal out of finding and staking Lucy, which is usually a big thing. In the Bela Lugosi movie, they forget to even address the fact that she's still walking around as a vampire. They're like, she's out there, and then they never talk about it again.
Yeah.
And then Jack the Ripper happened not too long afterwards. Maybe we've solved it.
Yeah, it was Lucy. It was Lucy all along, and she's still out there somewhere.
We got our geography lesson now. Great man's filling us in.
I knew what Great Britain was made of, but I'm still wondering like if it's considered a different country or a different state or province or what.
I like when nice little setup right there is when the girl grabbed her hand. She says, "Oh, Lucy, you're so cold." I like that. It's like now you know she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little touch. It was wacky. England geography over there.
I'd love to have just some scenes of them just playing different games for a while, just leading up to things.
And all of a sudden her neck slips out further and then it's over. Yeah.
You guys just see like the leaves dropping. Do you think there's like someone up there just dropping leaves? Like
definitely.
There's got because this is
very
a set.
That's a nice little attention to detail for them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For a low budget movie, you know.
Yeah. It's like leaf.
Yeah, because this doesn't actually look like a cemetery, not a real one. It looks like a set like made up.
She's not even trying to hide her fangs anymore.
No, I know. Yeah. He wouldn't even need to cross. Look at him. He is so intense.
I love how the music cuts out here too. It makes it even more dramatic.
I wouldn't run in there. Of course, it is going to be daylight, so look, he just
lets it go.
Just another night. This is a very heartwarming moment here with the child.
That is nice.
Gives him a little bit of humanity, which he lacks throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah. I do have a little just historical question about this scene, though, and I'll get to it in a minute.
I will be right back, gentlemen.
All right.
Thing weighs more than she does. Look
Yeah. But he says you look like a teddy bear. Teddy bears were named after Teddy Roosevelt, which would have been later. So
that explains Teddy Ruxpin. Dang it, they should have said something else. A polar bear, perhaps.
Yeah.
There was like the Jonathan Frakes dramatic turn.
Yeah.
Why has Van Helsing just been watching and not doing anything
for 3
He's
nights?
Been watching for 3 days, and it's just like she could have killed how many people in that time
and converted more and more.
Yeah,
right.
I guess she was just like frolicking through the streets at night or whatever. She wasn't really thirsty yet.
That's what I would do if I was a vampire. I would just kill if I had to, and then just run around and do all the stuff I wasn't allowed to do.
Go catch a show.
How do you know? All you do is put a cross to her head.
That's true. Maybe it's in someone else's ledger.
Mm-hmm. I watched the movie Waxwork not too long ago. They put a cross to a vampire's head in that movie, and it just explodes.
Yeah,
like the shark in Jaws 4.
I love that vampire scene too, in like the little basement or abattoir, wherever they are, with the dude with the exposed leg.
Yeah, that's a great scene, and he just suffers so much damage to that leg. It's almost
they keep like leaning on it and falling on it and stuff. Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good one. Really uncomfortable dinner scene in the vampire segment too.
Ooh, steak tartare.
I'll look at the anatomically correct placement of the steak too.
Yeah,
he don't mess around. Like Harker hesitated before he staked the girl.
Yeah. I get the sense that Van Helsing's used to this. I don't know. I gotta wonder what he was doing before.
That's true. Was he town butcher or railway worker?
I think he was going through like vampire slayer school, right? So this is like
he did well in finals.
Yeah. Maybe it's like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer thing where he just inherently knows how to do this stuff. It's just
I just had a picture of they had the crash test dummies. They got them laid out on the table. They got the students standing around and they're handing out test steaks with blunt ends.
Hey, Brad.
That's it. Make the brother go stare at her. There you go.
Yeah,
this would do well for his future emotional state.
Hey, Brad.
Bronco Juggalo. Busted pipe situation, but I saw you. Oh, hey, good to see you, man. Well, you know what they say. Anytime your pipes aren't busted, they're not doing their job. Hopefully you get it under control quickly. I had a busted sink pipe that cost $11,000 damage to our home just this year. So,
hey, Werewolf's here. What's up, Werewolf?
Darren from Down Under. Welcome. Good to see you. Well, we're enjoying Dracula from across the pond. So, kindred spirit.
Can't stay long at work.
Normally do during sexy time. That pleasure pain face. And you thrash about wildly.
I think she might have enjoyed the bite. I don't think she enjoyed the staking.
No.
What in the hell? That's like a super tiny short cigarette.
Looks like a clove or something, maybe.
Yeah.
I can't stand the smell of those things, but that's what it looks like.
Clove, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love this because they're just like, no, vampires can't turn into wolves and bats. We don't have the budget for that.
Not until Scars of Dracula.
Yeah,
the bats are everywhere.
Or in Brides of Dracula, right after this, where Van Helsing comes back, and then you've got what's his name flying around as a bat in that movie. So one movie later, they're already just destroyed their own mythology.
It's like Nightmare on Elm Street between 1 and 2. Yeah. There's the servant cord, by the way. It's on that credenza thing over there. I see it behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Double-breasted suit. You can tell how old this movie is. All right.
I'm not quite sure which jacket he's putting on now. I don't know what he's about to do.
Got the kick-ass jacket? No, that has like the leather patch on the shoulder, like the hunter's jacket. That will be the kick-ass jacket, I think. If it's velvet, it's over. I'm going to go stake some vampires and go hunt lynches afterwards. Jacket.
And he's smoking, but not wearing the smoking jacket. That's the confusing part.
Did Peter Cushing smoke? Because I noticed in Satanic Rites of Dracula, he smoked throughout that movie, but didn't look like he was inhaling it. Like he would take a puff and it would just billow out of his mouth really quick.
It might be just for show.
But what a weird choice, like to just like, oh, here you in this scene you smoke for like no good reason. Like why? You know,
Yeah.
like
I mean, he's got to do something to take the edge off after seeing so much traumatic stuff.
That's true. It's probably laced with PCP or something.
They could have given him a pipe. I think that would have been like better. So
now this is
he's
like
got a pipe in some versions. Yeah,
it's true. That would be very fitting for him. They're like in like Germany or Ronstadt or something like that. And once again, the cleric speaks perfect English. I like it.
But yeah, like all the other Van Helsings are just like these aging professors. I feel like they were going out of their way to be like, this is a youthful Van Helsing.
They got themselves a young actor to do it. So there's her answering brooch and jacket or dress.
yeah, that one looks like it could be a tablecloth as well, like a fancy tablecloth.
Might have started his life as a doily somewhere and then worked its way up.
Just grew.
Yeah, she's made her dress out of like 10 place settings.
I think those are fake books back there.
I think so too. Yeah, they look painted.
It is laid down in the government regulation that under no circumstances.
That's like the train conductor's hat they got on him there.
Yeah, and then you've always got to have a comic relief character in the Hammer movies.
I just noticed the dollar bill he put on there already had a hole in it.
Yeah,
so they must have
They
done
shot the scene a couple times, probably.
When did you say Walter? December the 1st. December the 1st. Why was he going to Karlstadt? Let me see.
Carl stuff.
One hearse, one coffin.
Monopoly money, Gray Man. Yeah, for sure.
Good old corruption.
It's one thing, it never separates us with the passage of time.
Why does she believe when the person's just like, I've got a message from someone claiming to be your husband, and you're not supposed to tell anybody that you're coming to this, I don't know, mortuary.
Seems legit. Oh, she got her traveling parka on too. Look at that thing.
Yeah, I think serious.
Looks like Elizabeth Taylor should be wearing that. That's a boss coffin right there. Look at that thing. It was ivory.
That is nice.
That one was made in props. Not too long before the shot, you can see the painting.
There's like so many coffins in there. And that one has like a window, like a door. That's like a flag.
Now we have the Hammer T scene.
I've always wondered how you managed to get your hand out of a coffin to open the lid.
That's an excellent choice. Maybe there's a handle inside. You know?
Yeah. He probably builds his coffins with like a little trap door for his hand so he can unlock it.
Would make sense. That lamp is back again. It's back.
Yeah.
There.
The lamp is following them.
They got a big collection. Love those doors.
But do they ever explain why they need to be in a coffin? It's like
it's just what
awesome.
Just for aesthetics. Just for aesthetics.
It's part. Well, yeah, coffins look cool, but they also, because vampire lore, need to rest in a box of their native soil every night. They can't be anywhere else. They have to sleep in a coffin with their native soil in it.
In a box.
I like how they did it in the Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula. He was just in crates when they put all the dirt in the crates. He just slept in the crates. That was kind of cool. A little less ostentatious, right?
Crate is just a funny shaped coffin if you think about it.
True. Yeah. It's a coffin for your bananas.
Exactly.
It's a box of earth. That's all you need. Vampire could sleep in a big cardboard box if you had to.
She's like, oh, yes, whatever you do, don't look at my neck. Just out for a walk, dear. All evening. Smelling like formaldehyde probably when she walked in the door. You've been shagging the Undertaker again. There's a pauper's coffin right there.
Yeah.
This guy's hilarious. I love this Undertaker.
The Undertaker in this, he's in a lot of other things. He's the doctor who just keeps medicating himself in I I think, Brides of Dracula.
Oh, okay.
He just keeps pouring himself different little concoctions, clearly just getting himself drunk. And he's in the 50s Alistair Sim Christmas Carol movie as well.
Probably wore the same outfit.
Yeah.
Nice little cravat and top hat. So closest to the dead, closest to soil because they slept on graves. Yeah, maybe they're like necrotic fans or whatever.
Shiny ass hat, man.
Yeah, most people, undertakers wear top hats. So it's a trade thing.
Yeah, vampires are like cats, and I love cats, and I love vampires.
Yeah, but I'm like a mover. If I'm in a coffin, I'd just be like so confined, like I can't even like roll over. It's like, come on.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, now I'm very stationary. I sleep on the edge of my bed. I always have. I don't move around much.
Once you've got a bunch of people in your thrall, you can get them to build you a nice
a double size.
That's true.
Coffin. Yeah,
satin inside. It'd be nice. Little sound system. Maybe a wet bar. That needlepoint relaxes her.
Hey, Trenchy.
A Soul's trench coat in the bottom? Yes, he is. Look at that. Welcome, welcome. And that's a good point. What if they're claustrophobic vampires?
They're in trouble. When you first wake up and you're a vampire, you're probably freaking out anyway because you've been buried alive and you're like, what the hell's happening?
Ooh, that's true. They probably just like dig a hole in the ground and sleep in it,
Yeah. I mean, when I did my stream back at the beginning of November, I read a little bit of my story, and the chapter I read is someone waking up and realizing they have been buried alive and how they get out of the coffin. So I think that would be a good way to do the vampire story.
I think she stuck herself with a needle there. Yeah. Yeah, vampires have our time. We talk about that. Do vampires need to pee? Only when they get older, Gray Man. Then it's a couple times a night.
They don't eat or drink anything except blood, which just goes into their veins, I guess. So
but blood is like 80% water, though.
Claustrophobes having to sleep in a coffin full of dirt. That would be a pretty tormented existence, would it not?
Mm-hmm. I mean, but I wonder if you get sicknesses when you're a vampire and you're already technically dead. I wonder if germs would affect you.
They're
well, that's a psychological condition. I mean, unless that automatically heals up or something. I don't know.
I mean, fair. But also now you've got me thinking: do vampires need to go for certain blood types, or are certain blood types going to be bad for them still?
Well, no one likes the negatives, so O negative would probably kill them, but they have to drink O positive, right?
Yeah.
See, if you notice, all the crypts in Dracula's castle were open, so maybe they weren't confined sleeping there like that. Because they were in enclosed buildings, there's no sunlight getting in there in the basement. So they slept out in the open. I would feel horribly vulnerable if I was him, though, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's in his slaying bowler.
He knows as long as there's he has a minion near him, that's the one they're going to go for first, so he's fine, right?
It's true. Yeah. That's why he bites so many people. It's like insurance.
Yeah, but that's the other thing that I miss in this. Dracula doesn't have a Renfield in this movie.
No, that's true.
He does in... which one is it where there's the Renfield character? There is one.
Renfield's in the...
Is it Risen from the Grave?
In the Hammers. There are some Renfield types in the later movies. Yeah,
he even eats flies. The guy that embosses books, that was his thing. I can't remember what his name was in that movie or which one it was, but
so this is Mina, right? We established that. Is that?
Yeah, I think this is Mina now.
Yeah, because
Lucy's goner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though this is technically supposed to be the Lucy character, even though the Mina character is the one who lives. It's weird.
Yeah, because Mina does live on in the books, right? So.
Yeah, Mina lives on. Lucy's the one who gets staked.
Look, I'm not blinking like a boss.
Yeah.
Now there's almost sexual look right here to it, which is another thing that set things apart.
Yeah, I mean,
it's very suggestive. He just closes the door and we don't see anything else.
Mm-hmm. I mean, people talked about Lugosi being very seductive for his time, but they upped the ante in this.
Yeah.
And I read a post somewhere a while back talking about Scars of Dracula, where this person was thinking about like the sexual subtext of the Dracula movies, and Dracula literally like slips something into one of the girl's drinks and just carries her off, and the person who was watching just shouted at the screen, "That's not even subtext!" At that point, because it was just right there.
It's like you jump fast forwarded to the early 90s. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Blood. That's something I want to see. Yeah, that would suck. Just like if you've ever seen the show Martin, I think it's called Martin, actually.
The movie?
The Doctor is a doctor. It was a TV show, a series in Britain.
Okay.
And it's about a doctor, a surgeon who he can't look at blood anymore. And it completely ruins him. He has to be like a small town practitioner. So what happens if he gets turned into a vampire? He's in a world of hurt.
Oh.
Hey, Celis Trent, you could also, we're watching it right now on D Live. You can find the link. If you can,
I'll just post it right now.
Yeah.
You can watch with us. We're about 3/4 of the way through. Gino will make a great Renfield. I'm not big on eating flies. I've eaten crickets before, but never flies. So
Yeah, you just have to sort of pantomime grabbing them out of the sky and eating them.
that's true. Just dress up some Raisinets,
Yeah.
Now we got the Wagenstein blood pump.
This old school transfusion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And though, like cutting edge technology for the time, it's a very, very modern story for the Victorian era.
Mm.
Yeah, because before that, they would have just bled her.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's some leeches, Mum. No one's watching the main door or the side doors.
Nope.
They just like to walk through the shrubbery. This is a very long take, by the way, and he has to do lots of stuff with these cords and the lines.
Yeah.
And he gets all the tubing just right.
That. Yeah, it's one long shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I noticed this when I first watched it. And I like that little tincture of, it's probably laudanum or something she got in that little jar right there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she puts it like on the actual wound, right?
Now she got the maid uniform on, or the nurse uniform on, nursemaid.
Right. Well, this is when it was more like theater actor. I mean, these guys are used to like going up on stage as opposed
30
to
minutes straight.
Yeah.
Lots of little moving parts in this, though. I can really appreciate.
Yeah.
When they do things like this.
And I do think it's interesting. Oh, go on.
I was just gonna say, didn't they used to drink laudanum? They didn't wasn't like topical, right?
Yeah, I don't remember them using it as topical aid. They just use it for the opium. This is Peter probably felt naked in this scene, right? Completely naked. We've never seen anything above his wrist in any movie, right?
Right.
Yeah. My sleeves are up. This is wrong.
It's very racy, this scene.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably just grape Kool-Aid in the vial.
Go have some fortified wine.
Yeah, but speaking of racy, if you jump from this to the 70s Hammer movies, it's so just drastic. This was like garish for the time. Then there's just like naked people walking around like it's nothing in the 70s movies.
Yeah.
I love the bordello and Taste the Blood of Frankenstein, of Dracula. I love it. They start out and it's great. Just naked women drop us one around everywhere. It was so exploitation.
And I mean, in Twins of Evil, they literally just based the movie around twin Playboy models that they found. They were just like twin vampires. This will draw people's attention.
Just like the Doublemint twins. They actually had, was it Doublemint twins? That was in Friday the 13th Part 4, I believe it was.
Was that Part 4? I just watched Part 4 the other day.
I know the twins were in that, but I think it was the Doublemint twins.
It
could be wrong.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Because remember, one of them goes for Jimmy after his amazing dance moves, and
yes, I love his dance moves in that movie. They're wonderful.
Is that Kate and Allie, the Doublemint twins?
I think so, but they're twins for sure. I thought it was the Doublemint twins, but I could be wrong. I have to look it up. Stay and rest and have some wine.
Right. So, what was your non-hammer favorite non-hammer Dracula film?
Nosferatu, probably. But
the Murnau film.
Yeah, the Murnau version.
I like Shadow of the Vampire. I thought was really good.
Yes, loved it.
With William Dafoe.
Yeah, William Dafoe and Malkovich.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie. I think does Martin count? The Romero Martin? I love that movie too.
It's a vampire movie, but okay. So this scene had some of my favorite comic timing in a Hammer film. Eventually, we'll get there. I'll point it out when we get there.
I like this. This is like the old school when you had to slap someone to like get their attention.
Yeah, this is where very polite Peter Cushing gets aggressive for a minute.
Anything bad about that chicken, the baby? Thomas, the only place you can make one out is home.
There's another dead body.
Is home in Transylvania?
It's a coach driver.
Is that
they make the trail pretty easy to follow, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he's not. He tries to be sneaky in some ways, but then he's just like not subtle at all in other ways. It's great.
Well, back then, a good bracing slap was how you got people to come around, right? So the Queen of England could be going off her rocker. If you slap her around a few times, she'd be all right.
Well, I think I missed my favorite scene. It's the one where they go down to the cellar.
I missed that one too.
Often, and then Dracula like pokes his head back in for a moment and then runs away.
Mm-hmm.
That has just impeccable comic timing to it for me.
I mean, how did we miss that?
I don't know. I just
something.
wasn't looking. We were talking.
Maybe,
I was waiting for it too when you mentioned it.
My gate, my precious gate.
That's a nice fix, though.
No, right?
No,
He didn't have any tight bond wood glue sitting there,
right?
He just threw some hemp rope on it.
I love this forest. They use this forest in like every Hammer movie, but I love it.
The white horses. Yep.
It's like,
and just these quintessential Gothic woods that you see in every Hammer movie.
Yep.
he just dumps her right down in that hole.
Yeah, he just like throws her in, and like the sun's already coming up. It feels like in this scene. How is he not dying?
She's like, "Hey, come on, what the hell?"
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe don't just start aggressively throwing cold dirt on someone if you don't want them to wake up while you're doing it.
So why didn't he put her in the cellar? I don't understand.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He wants to be found.
True. Well, they do allude to that in the Satanic Rite of Dracula, how he actually wants to die.
Yeah, but he's so petty in Satanic Rites because he's like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna kill the entire human race too.
I know it's a little bit draconian, but trapdoor, baby. Every castle has a good trapdoor. There's like a lynx pelt right there on the edge of that desk. Dracula got around.
Oh yeah, there is. I wonder why Dracula has that.
I don't know. Apparently, Peter Cushing actually ad-libbed some of this scene and wanted to make it a little more active.
I mean, is he just playing possum there?
Yeah, totally, for sure.
He's just like, no, I totally passed out, dude.
Now it works.
Yep, and I think that's the only time Christopher Lee's Dracula has ever tried to bite a guy in one of these.
Yep.
He only goes for the women in all of the other movies. Like in Has Risen from the Grave and Taste the Blood, he just like will if it's a guy, he's just like, I don't want to bite you. I'll just hit you with a shovel and knock you unconscious.
That's true. Or you have his thralls do it for him.
I like how even his clothes shrink up from the sun.
I like how it goes right through his clothes too and burns him.
I also think it's cool that he uses the candlesticks to form the cross, because before this, it had to be like a crucifix. You couldn't just go like this and it would work. But from now on, it does.
Because, I mean, then you have to wonder, like, what if they're just reading a book and they see an X?
Yeah.
A T.
In Vampire Lovers, they just use an upside-down dagger as a cross at one point.
Now he's getting it from both sides. Like, what's worse, the cross or the sun, you know?
Yeah. I love these disintegration effects.
Yeah. The practical effects in these Hammer films are amazing.
Yeah.
Now Cushing having to give some reaction shots.
Yep.
I think they cut some of the disintegration initially. It was a bit gory for 58. They were trying to be a bit edgy.
Best Drac kill ever.
Maybe. I like the kind of bittersweet ending of the Coppola movie too.
I like the action sequence where Peter Cushing goes for the curtains and you see him just like pull it down like that. I mean,
supposedly that was his idea to make it like more actiony.
That was pretty actiony too.
Yeah.
His hair was funny when Chris was leaning down and it all came forward.
Yeah. I love that you just see the ring there as well, because I think Lugosi passed his Dracula ring onto Lee at some point just to like sort of give his seal of approval to
handing
the
torch
role.
over. Yeah, that was a very good. It's actually maybe the best Drac ending of all the Hammer ones. Some of them get a little bit ridiculous.
They do, but I love them when they do. I love seeing Dracula cry blood or have a literal crown of thorns on his head.
Going on.
Now, it looked like
get hit by lightning and all that. Oh my gosh!
It looked like he turned to ash, but his hair remained hair and then blew away. Is that what happened?
Looked like a tumbleweed or something.
Yeah, like a tumbleweed.
That's what it looked.
Tumbleweed Dracula hair.
Nice.
Well, there it is. The Horror of Dracula, 1958 special, coming at you from jolly old England and Hammer Films. So amazing. Let's do a little recap there, fellas. What'd you think upon second watching? At least you, Ben.
I liked it. Second time within 24 hours that I watched that movie.
Well, you're well versed on it now. Should be a review coming up shortly, right?
I'll probably watch it again right after this.
Just to see the great sets, right?
Yeah, I just want to see if anything's changed.
And I'd love to see what you think of the sequels and the later crazy Hammer movies, because they get weird. They get really weird.
Well, now I've sort of like opened the floodgate. You know, this was the first old school Hammer movie I'd ever seen. So
yeah, Jay turned me on to these, so I have him to thank, by the way. So just classic stuff, man. I've been watching them solo. My wife hadn't really had any interest in watching them, but her loss is my gain. Trenchy, I'm glad you enjoyed the stream.
Yep. Gray Man, I think you're thinking of Fright Night. You have to have faith in Fright Night for the crucifix to work.
Okay.
We did that in Dusk Till Dawn too, I think.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, because he was like the preacher who was like losing his faith, right?
And then it wasn't work. Nothing was working, and then he got his faith back, and everything started to work again. Hard to say, but yeah, what happens if they see T, and that's bad.
Yeah, that's bad times.
And they're always in graveyards. And usually there's headstones with crosses all over them. They can get out of the graveyard.
Right.
That's right.
What if someone who is a vampire gets buried in a grave where they have like a cross engraved on it? What are they supposed to do?
They actually had something very similar to that in was it Wes Craven's Dracula 2000? I think it was Dracula 2000.
Not long ago.
It's the one where Van Helsing, played by Christopher Plummer, actually kept Dracula hostage in a in a crypt, but it had a cross on the inside of the mask.
Yeah, he's got like this high security crypt for Dracula in that movie.
That was a very cool idea, though. Cool premise. The movie was pretty weak, but it was a really cool premise how he's milking his blood to stay alive so he could figure out a way to kill him.
Yeah, the movie had some fun ideas, but it wasn't great.
No. That's the one where they made him Judas, right? He was Judas Iscariot.
Yeah, he was Judas Iscariot in that, which was an interesting idea. Still not sure how I feel about that.
See, watched the very boring vampire movie 1996 a few days ago. It was the year I was born.
I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of it either. Was that a U.S. release? Where was that released at? 1976. That's the bicentennial, or it'd be Bite-centennial, right? That'd be the movie poster I would use. At least for us. Look at those bongos back there. I like that. You got beatniks in the house. And
Vampire in 1976.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I keep getting surprised by the number of vampire movies I haven't seen as I'm trying to watch everything.
I have the Dario Argento vampire. What is it? Dracula AD, which is in 3D. God. 3D, by the way.
I've heard that movie is nuts. Doesn't he turn into like a praying mantis in that?
Yep, he does. And but it stars the late great Rutger Hauer as Van Helsing.
Pre-Hitcher days, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I prefer Dracula. Okay, Phantom Strangers, Judas Iscariot, and the recent DC run. They're reliving old killers now. Phantom Stranger, huh? Judas Iscariot. Well, they do have John Constantine or whatever, so they do have a lot of biblical reference.
Yep, I prefer Dracula 2000
over it. I didn't know it had sequels.
Yeah,
I remember Jerry Ryan.
Sequels, I think they get futuristic. Even I haven't seen them.
It was, like I said, it was interesting. It was about the same time that John Carpenter's Vampires came out too.
Boy, that movie, such a convoluted way of killing vampires in that. They use grappling hooks to
drag them out.
They bring in bullet guns that they know are going to do no damage to the vampires whatsoever, and then they shoot them with harpoons to drag them out into the light.
Wouldn't it be easier just to ram the walls?
Right?
Oh, it was 1979. Okay, I still haven't heard of it.
Dracula 1979. I don't know.
Yeah, the Dracula it got a slight boost in the 80s, of course, like with the Fright Night reimaginings and of course the Lost Boys. Yeah. So it gets rewritten about every decade or so. The 90s was a little bit shy. I think they had more like the rom-com and romantic.
Bram Stoker's Dracula came out, right? The Coppola one, Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah, I want to say it was around 94 or so. 90.
Yeah, that was late 90s, I think.
Okay.
I don't think it was that late. I think it was early 90s.
I don't know.
I was in high school at the time, so it was probably around there somewhere, early to mid 90s, somewhere around that area. But it was huge freaking hype for that movie. And then a lot of people were kind of disappointed because it kept much slower and more of a gothic feel. People were expecting a little more because the trailers look very action packed. You know what I mean?
Oh, really? I mean, it's got its fair share of action scenes because I love it, even though they make Dracula this much more romantic figure. It follows the book just about beat for beat. They keep so much stuff in there.
I have crossed oceans of time for you. Yes.
I dressed as Gary Oldman Dracula for Halloween a couple years ago.
Yeah, top hat.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got the top hat. I can go grab it if you want it.
Sure. We're all wearing hats.
Glasses.
Yeah, I know those little blue ones. I don't have anything like those.
I'll demo it really quick for you.
I'll be right back. Dracula.
Be right back.
I do like the fact that sunlight doesn't kill that Dracula because I always thought that was like a very weak way to die for a vampire. It's like, really, sunlight? Come on.
Just makes him weaker. So that's kind of fine. Contrary to popular belief. Freaking Keanu Reeves in there. Oh, sorry, I didn't finish it. Talking Dracula first, can't forget Batman vs. Dracula, underrated, fun little film where Penguin is Renfield character and Vamp Joker.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've yet to see that one, but I heard about it. I do have Batman by Gaslight, which is the Jack the Ripper version. I haven't seen that yet, but looking forward to it.
Very good. If you can keep up towards the end. Well, it's a little convoluted too, but apparently it's very close to the story. I haven't read the original in so long, since like middle school, I think. So it's been a long time. Sexy Monkey, what's going on? Unfortunately, you missed the movie, but we're still doing our wrap up. So
okay, but if you go to DLive, you can recap it. You can actually play it back. So
it's still up there. So the link is here.
Yep.
If you want to go watch it, if you've never seen it before. Trenchy, you're everywhere. Yeah, trench coat gets everywhere. The Soulless trench coat is all over the YouTubes. So, Ben, what was your overall thoughts of the movie?
Overall, I liked it. I don't watch that much old horror. I mean, I know that like
I don't either, but
Martin's wheelhouse is the old horror, but I'm more into like the tradition. I'm just more into like the. Oh, nice. There you go.
Yeah, very nice. You kind of look more like Ozzy Osbourne, I think. With that.
I'll take it. I like Ozzy. I don't have the facial hair.
Give it time. You'll be Viking out before you know it.
I keep shaving it, though. That's the problem.
I'm going full hobo again.
Are you going for I saw your pictures last year, whatever your videos last year.
Oh, man. I was a big old hobo. Yeah. I'm more into watching modern. I guess when I go to watch a horror movie, I tend to go more towards modern horror movies, but I've been enjoying the older stuff lately.
Oh, okay. Well, what kind of modern horror? I mean, that's such a wide range. You're talking about Saws?
No, I would say from like 1980 up.
Okay, so the slasher films like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love all that stuff. I love all the new stuff. I love all this new art house horror that's sort of coming out. The A24 films. Yeah, I mean, I love all that stuff.
Yep. Have you seen The Black Coat's Daughter?
Yeah.
Ben? I just watched that the other day. That's a crazy movie.
It was pretty crazy. Yeah, I love that A24 stuff. That was an A24 film, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not seen one that I didn't like yet. So.
All right, so we got a good grade there. So, Anthro, what's your judgment of the movie?
I mean, as a little bit of a book nerd for the original book, I get kind of hung up on some of the things that they do. I'm like, where's Renfield? Why did they switch the names? Why do they always switch the names? But it does things that a lot of Dracula movies hadn't done before. It's a much more vibrant, garish version of the story that moves really, really fast. And I love anything that has Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee in it. So this one's going to be one I always come back to for sure.
I'd say it's definitely one of the more rewatchable of the Hammer Dracs.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Jay, thoughts? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish up.
I think Has Risen from the Grave has the most likable characters for me, but I mean,
yeah, like outside of Cushing and Lee, there's not a whole lot of meat on the bone for other characters in this movie. You get into some of the other ones, like some of the leading men or whatever, are very dashing and very brash and likable. Some of the leading ladies are more so too. So
yeah.
So Jay, hit us with your thoughts on the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. It's very fast paced. It doesn't flesh out like some of the garbage like in some of the other Dracula films. It's like very, very like essential the scenes, and
it's a bare bones version of the story.
Yeah. But it gives you it hits all the high notes, which is what I like about it. So very, very like nice film. Especially for its day. Very, very well made.
Yeah, it doesn't look chintzy. I know it's made on a shoestring budget for the most part, but it doesn't look cheap. Like you don't see any like strings on the props back there. And, it doesn't look like the sets are going to blow over. Yes, if you look really close, you can see some things that are obviously painted in or they're just pieces of cardboard back there.
Right.
But really, who's watching the movie that close, especially on first viewing, except for movie critics, of course.
But I mean, they have a leaf dude.
It's a union too, man, because he was in Yojimbo too, or at least Sanjuro. So,
but the sets were super elaborate. There's not like an inch of that wall that wasn't used or like had some kind of painting or something on it.
Sconces everywhere. Just everything richly dressed and brocaded. The costumes look great.
Yeah.
I personally. Nice atmosphere throughout.
Yeah, there was just enough
Great
smoke. They didn't go
atmosphere.
too overboard with the smoke, but
Mhm.
it was always in the grave scenes, which was cool.
Mhm.
I really do enjoy this one as far as the Hammer Drax go.
Yeah.
And I think I've seen them all now at this point. It's definitely, I think, one of the more rewatchable ones, and worthy. You know, Peter Cushing helps carry this a lot. You don't see enough Lee actually getting to act.
Mhm.
They just turn him into the hunger, basically.
Yeah.
But he lets his eyes do the acting, which he couldn't even do right because he had those huge contacts in, so his eyes are really wide and menacing looking. But
Right.
I like him much better as the suave character we first see it when he comes into the castle, whatever, when he's speaking. But you know, you can't have it all. So definitely an enjoyable flick.
Yeah. So
how about you, Chad?
Sasha, I'm kind of with you on that actually, because
I don't like.
I used to be. I used to basically just watch the old nothing past the 1950s because I just liked monsters and good stories, and I wasn't really interested in being scared. And that stuff's still my comfort horror. But I've because that's what I've been kind of into for so long, I have been branching out into a lot more modern horror recently and just exploring different things.
Yeah, don't ever feel bad about your opinion, especially on this channel. It's a variety channel, and the horror movie stuff that I've done like top 10 rankings of killings in certain franchises, and most of the winners are not gory. Like, I am not a gore fiend by any sense of the meaning. I don't like gross out horror, none of that stuff.
No, I'm not a gross out guy either. I appreciate good effects, but gore has never been my thing.
Yeah, that's the other thing about the Hammer films. The Hammer films are very classily made. It's not just torture porn or that you're watching. Or
they're bloody, but they're not too gory. Occasionally, a hand gets cut off, but nothing too extreme.
Yeah,
I don't mind the extreme stuff personally.
But
they
definitely go more for the atmosphere and the mood rather than just like shocking value and stuff like that.
Yeah, they were shocking for the time though. They were one step above the Universal movies.
Mm-hmm.
I would say of all the sort of horror genres, my favorite is going to be a serious horror movie that sets out to actually try to scare someone, and creates a good sense of atmosphere.
Yeah,
agreed. My movie case, I have American Werewolf in London sitting around here. I got to re-review it. That was one of the first movie reviews I did on my channel. That was like 3 years ago. Such a classic movie, though. There's a little bit of gore there, but mostly in the after effects of the zombie friend.
Right. That is true. Yeah.
I'm sorry I called you Meatloaf. Yes.
Great transformation scene.
Oh,
one of the best of all time.
They actually created a whole new subset of the Oscars or whatever for it.
Wow.
That was good stuff. So, all right, we're going to start wrapping up here shortly. So, hopefully, we can get together again soon and watch the next in the series. Was it Prince or Rises from the Grave? I forget.
I think it's Prince of Darkness is the next one.
Is it Dracula, Prince of Darkness, or is it Has Risen from the Grave? I don't recall.
I'd have to look it up. There's like a 10-year gap, I think.
Yeah,
so it's quite a bit. So we'll figure it out, but maybe we can get the panel back together and re-review it. So closing thoughts on the movie and the Hammer films themselves, at least as far as Drac goes.
Oh, and how can you go wrong with Dracula? It's, such an iconic character and an iconic actor playing him. So,
Yeah.
That's true.
I just realized though, are we just going with the Christopher Lee movies, or is Brides of Dracula going to get thrown in there because it's part of the
part of the Hammers?
Yeah, it's Van Helsing's next stop, but Lee isn't in it. I don't know.
Right. Who plays? I don't remember watching that.
It's another actor even younger than Lee, I think, playing a different character named Baron Meinster.
Okay, so it's not even Dracula; it's just another vampire film.
It's another vampire, and some other vampires, but Cushing comes back as
Van Helsing.
And as Van Helsing.
I'm down to watch it.
It's a good movie.
I'd never seen it before, so yeah. Or if I did, I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But I've seen so many vampire films and like seen so many. Like maybe I've seen it, or maybe I don't. It's that kind of thing.
I feel that I've watched so many vampire movies that sometimes they become a blur.
All right, so there it is. So yeah, we'll make an announcement if we're going to be doing this one again. But I had a good time on the panel for sure, and just love watching these movies, these golden oldies like this, and it's good to get back, man, and see that you can make a great movie for under $1 million if you really have people dedicated to telling a good story behind it. And care about the little things, and of course, how they got an actor of Peter Cushing's caliber in there is beyond me for the price they were probably paying. But he just played in anything. I think he just liked to work, to be honest with you. So.
I mean, they had the 2 actors in this for Curse of Frankenstein before that, and that did great. So they were just like, let's do it again. Let's have him play the monster again.
Or was he contracted to, for Hammer Studios? And
it might have been because Lee played the Mummy too. He played all the monster roles for a while.
He's like, yeah, we got you. You're in this no matter what.
He's like the new Lon Chaney.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's like, I just want to do serious roles. Please, someone else call me. But he did.
Yeah, Dwight Bryan, the old Dracula and Frankenstein movies, who played Renfield, was like that too. He was just like, God, please just let me do a comedy movie. Can I stop playing lunatics for 2 seconds?
Well, otherwise you wind up like Jeff Goldblum. But yeah, it is what it is. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get down here. I wanted to say everyone to thank you for coming in the chat. I still got people talking in there. But yeah, we'll probably do another one in week 2, whatever. I'll get on the panel afterwards and we'll figure out when we're going to do it next. And we'll announce which Dracula movie we're going to watch, either the non-Lee or the Lee. So the Lee. I like that. But yeah, good times tonight. And yeah, if you guys want to plug your channels real quick one more time, tell them where they can find you, just in case someone in the chat is not subscribed or on replay. Any order, doesn't matter.
I'm Anthropomantic Fiend. I don't know if I want to spell that or, but yeah, I go by Anthrofiend for short, but my channel is Anthropomantic Fiend, and you can find me as Anthropomantic_Fiend on Instagram, Anthrofiend on Twitter, and just I'll probably be posting videos about weekly on my YouTube channel, generally horror stuff.
Ben?
Yeah, I'm Cadaver Club on YouTube, Cadaver Club on Instagram. Yeah, mostly just hang out on YouTube, and I've been on Instagram quite a bit lately too, though. Come join the Cadaver Club, guys.
Get over there, listen to some good music.
Yeah.
Jay, hit us, would you?
All right, so I am at OverEasy Mode, and that's all my media for Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube. So yeah, regular here on Genome's channel every Friday. You can catch us, and hopefully we can do this again. This Hammer Film Festival is like awesome.
Good fun. I'll put the links in the description after this uploads. Don't worry.
Yeah, and Trinchy has spelled my name perfectly there, in case anyone wants to check me out.
It's spelled just like it sounds. So
yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again for everyone watching on replay and everyone that was here in the chat. I really do appreciate it. It was a good time, and we will be back shortly to bring you another one of these great reviews. So until next time, this is Genome and Horror Friends. Out.